So movie fans around the world, welcome to Superman Eve. What is Superman Eve? Superman Eve is a very important day, guys. It's one day before Superman kicks off across theaters all across the US. You guys are very lucky. You guys get the opportunity to watch this movie a few days before it's actually projected to release. Now, us folks in other parts of the world, like Canada, we get advanced screening, we get early access just like everybody else does, but my tickets are not till the 10th, which is Thursday, the 10th of July. If you've been watching my channel, if you've been watching my my reviews, you would see that I had tickets. I had purchased tickets for the 11th of July, general admission, just like everybody else, or at least those who want to watch this film when it comes out in the theaters. But I was like, you know what? If I can get early access, if I can get some kind of, advanced screening, I want to take advantage of it because I want to watch this film, not just so I can, well, yes, I do want to watch this film before everybody else, but also for good reason because I want to do a review. I want to do a proper review on this film. This is going to be one of the most, it is one of the most marketed, most hyped films of the year. A lot is riding on this film, folks. A lot. This could be the film that kicks off and brings back to life at a whole different level the DC universe. Now, I'm not saying the DC universe is dead. I'm not saying that. But the DC universe has been kind of punched in the gut a little bit because of the latest Avengers films that have been kind of coming out. But these guys are serious players. And they want to come back, but they want to come back with like full might, like something that we haven't really seen before. The DC universe is out there to prove a point. So this is, as I mentioned, one of the most marketed, one of the most hyped films of the year. And the DC universe has got a lot riding on this film. Now, there's a lot of people saying a lot of different things about the film. There's a lot of negativity, there's some positivity, but there's a lot of people who are also just kind of on the fence, and they're just waiting to see what happens. People who can't really commit to an opinion just yet, but there have been plenty of little teaser trailers that the DC films and the production houses, the movie houses have been pumping out. There's been a lot of marketing that has gone into this film, a ton of marketing. So these guys are really, really bent on making sure that everybody knows about the coming of Superman, and not just a Superman movie. We're talking about moving past the era of Zack Snyder and welcoming in the new era of James Gunn. Now, if you guys have seen James Gunn's films, James Gunn's the kind of director who's willing to take a chance. He's very creative, and he's got an out-of-box type of thinking kind of mentality, but he's not afraid to try new things. James Gunn is the kind of guy that you want to be behind this movie. If anybody's gonna pull it off, it's gonna be James Gunn. Zack Snyder, he's good. He's great. But here's the difference. And here's the difference this time. Zack Snyder, if this was a Zack Snyder film, there's a strong chance that this may have not been a fully family type of movie. For a lot of reasons. Now, I'm not saying he's not a good director. I'm not saying He's not necessarily the right guy for the film. He did what he did, but this film is going to succeed, and it's going to achieve its goals because it's a family-oriented film. Parents who have grown up with Superman from 1978 onwards and watching the different films, and and then of course now having given the opportunity to be able to watch this film with their kids, knowing that it is family oriented, I think are quite excited. And that is part of the marketing, that's part of the branding, that's part of the DC universe reaching out to people to say, hey, I know we're a little different in terms of the direction we're trying to lead with this film. I know we have a few different actors, but you got to give us a chance. So why not? Why not give these guys a chance? Here's another reason why this film is going to work. Crypto the dog. Crypto, Superman's pup. How genius is this? I mean, you have man's best friend, a person's best friend. And Superman and Crypto are going to save the world. Absolute genius. Now you tell me, you show Superman and Crypto together to any young child, adolescent teen, what are they going to say? They're going to want to watch this film. At least it's going to put a smile on their face. It's going to incentivize them to wanting to watch this film, especially the young crowd. If there was ever a time that you want to reach out to people and to start bringing some of those people back into the folds of the DC universe, this is the time. People have been struggling with a lot of different things. There's a lot of things happening geopolitically, in the economy, things. Look, there's a lot of people are just unhappy out there. And although Superman, don't want to spill the beans here, guys, but it's a fictional movie. Sorry, guys. But Superman is something that people want, something that people need. And they're going to be watching this film with excitement and intrigue and with hope. This is not about DC versus Marvel, or there's been a lot of comparisons, and you've heard my previous videos on my channel about the potential money that Superman can bring in, but there's been a lot of comparisons between Superman, the DC films versus Marvel films, Superman versus the Avengers, or Superman versus Jurassic Park, Jurassic World. Guys, this is a completely different film. Look, let's be honest. Jurassic Park, I'm going to be doing a review here shortly. Jurassic Park has, came out strong right out of the blocks. They came out strong. They are grossing hundreds of millions of dollars. Huge box office hit. Jurassic World Rebirth, something else. Gareth Edwards, genius. Look, there's also another side to the whole Jurassic World Rebirth, but I want to save that for my review. This is more about Superman, not Jurassic World. But look, these movies are somewhat competing against each other. Maybe not so much directly, indirectly perhaps, but they are competing because Jurassic World Rebirth came out July 2nd. My camera's shaking, guys, sorry. Superman's coming out July 11th, official. But people are gonna have advanced screening early access as early as of tomorrow. That's why today's Superman Eve, the eve of Superman. So you can't really compare the two films. They're two completely different films, two genres that are completely different. Here you've got an action superhero from the planet Krypton, an immigrant, and he's on planet Earth. You know, he's Clark Kent, the reporter during the day, and he's Superman, the guy who saves the world at night. Jurassic World Rebirth. Well, you got Scarlett Johansson, Mahershala Ali, a lot of great actors. You know what? I watched that film. It was good. I didn't mind the film, actually. The plot was it was kind of predictable because everybody knows what's going to happen. They're going to go to the island and where there's these dinosaurs, and of course there's now they're coming up with mutated dinosaurs. Somewhat highly unbelievable. I mean, the whole point of dinosaurs even coming back to life is somewhat unbelievable, but come on. You were there when the first Jurassic Park film came out. And there was that whole topic, that whole discussion on genetics, on cloning. Is it possible to bring a dinosaur back to life based on DNA extrapolated from amber, from bone? What about from a woolly mammoth? Have you guys been paying attention to the news with some of the woolly mammoths that they've been digging out from the permafrost in Siberia, in Russia? Some of these are intact. There was like a baby woolly mammoth, fully fur intact and everything. Unbelievable. Absolutely unbelievable. And there's blood inside. Like, now, as they're trying to extrapolate the DNA, they were able to get some pretty good DNA. But not enough. Not enough. Or something was missing that they couldn't actually reciprocate the full genome. Like, there was something missing. And they're getting closer. And I guess one of the plans is to try to clone the woolly mammoth using some of that fresh blood samples from the latest woolly mammoth specimen that they uncovered in the permafrost in Russia, and combining it with an African elephant. At the end of the day, it's going to be a challenge. But look, this is a whole topic going off in a different direction. But the whole point of what I was trying to say is that this is what Jurassic Park did. It started to create those conversation pieces. People used to get together. Kids would group together with their friends and start to talk about, is this possible? And a lot of those kids grew up to become the newest archaeologists or paleontologists or people working in science and research, coming up with these ideas and finding unique, creative ways to be able to make these things happen, all because of a movie. So you can't compare Jurassic Park to Superman. Now, Jurassic World Rebirth, the plot is a bit messy. The storyline is kind of all over the place, but I didn't mind it. And for a child, for somebody young watching this for the first time, it's gonna create, that it's gonna spark some imagination. It's gonna get them interested, perhaps maybe interested in dinosaurs, and then it goes on from there. Superman is different. Everybody wants to be like Superman, to fly through the air at the speed of sound, you know, to be able to stop a bullet, to be able to just be in a position where you have this absolute power. And yeah, you know, so it's a great film. I'm sure it's going to be a great film, and I can't wait to see it. Now, the early projections on this film, there's people talking about, you know, a range between 130 to 170 million USD opening box office. You know, I don't know. You know, maybe it won't be the 200-300 million like, you know, some of these other films that are out there in the theaters right now. You know, 130, 170 million is a damn good. It's a lot of money. It's a lot of money, especially when you come right out of the gates. That's a lot of money because, you know, of course, over the course of a year, I mean, there is a big possibility that this film could turn into like 5, 6, 7, 800. Who knows? Could be the highest grossing DC film ever. Ever. I told you guys that we're now moving forward in a different era, different direction, different creativity, a different perspective on how and what Superman is and what it'll look like and what Superman will do under the creativity of James Gunn. And now we have David Corenswet, who plays Superman, who's taking over, who's replaced Henry Cavill. Nicholas Hoult, a bona fide actor. He plays Lex Luthor. Look, we got Rachel Brosnahan, we got Louis Lane, and there's a lot of other actors in this film. Great actors. We've got different kinds of characters. I was talking about Crypto the dog, like how amazing of an idea that is to bring Crypto the dog, man's best friend, as a superhero dog. That alone is genius when it comes to marketing. And then you've got monsters and you've got other kinds of villains and characters with all these powers and that is what I call a recipe for success. You don't just have one or two characters. You've got a whole lineup of exciting characters and superheroes that people can create new topics and conversations on. So you guys got to give this film a chance. Some people just need to take a step back and just take a chill pill because they're reading way too much into this film. Is it going to be good? Is it not going to be good? Oh, we're hearing this, we're hearing that. You haven't heard nothing because the movie hasn't come out. And you can't base everything on little teaser clips that are coming out every now and then. You have to watch this film. So, that's my take. Let's watch this film together, guys. And then let's reconvene and share our opinions and thoughts on it. We'll see you guys. Have a great one.